Good afternoon, everybody in YouTube. This is Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Hey guys, I thought I'd share a little bit of an experiment on something I'm going to be doing pretty soon. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there are using broadcast tape like Betacam SP, and of course here's a 3/4 Umatic tape right here. And these brown tapes are always a real problem because they go sticky, or they rewind real slow, or they jam in the machines. This is a very bad tape stock, but 3/4 Umatics are very difficult tapes to do. So I came up with a solution. As you guys know, I get a lot of junk machines in for repair. This one here is one that was junk, which was a 3/4 Umatic BVU 800. And so I get a lot of machines for parts and junk, and I have them sitting on the floor, and I use them for various different things. But last week I had a really piece of junk 3/4 Umatic. It's called the BVU 800 or 850. And I also have another one on the floor that I got to get to scrapping out for parts. But this came off of a BVU 850. Now, I always talk to people about, the best machines to buy. The BVU 850 and 950s were the best machines built for 3/4 Umatic, because the reason is they had direct drive motors. See those two motors? They would spin each spindle, and these are real powerful motors. And on the 3/4 Umatic machines, the other models, the VO 7600s, 9600s, and all the downsized models, they would use a little motor with a belt. I mean, that's just the way they designed it, and those machines don't have the horsepower to rewind tapes and fast forward them, especially with these old 3/4 Umatic tapes, which are real difficult at times. Anyways, I scrapped out a BVU 850. It was a real piece of junk. This was a piece of junk that was dropped by UPS, and it was seriously destroyed. So I took the unit completely apart, but I saved this part. And the reason I saved this part is for a reason. I'm going to build a 3/4 Umatic rewinding and fast forward jig for this tape, for these actual tapes, because they're so problematic. And the reason I'm going to do that is because this is two perfectly direct drive motors on this little plate. As you can see, you got two very powerful motors that if you put the 3/4 Umatic tape on there, like so, if you can see like so, and you hold it down, you'll be able to rewind or fast forward with direct drive motors spinning. So you have two wires for two different directions on these motors. So I'm going to rig up a power supply where I can flip a switch and go in fast forward mode, flip a switch and go in rewind mode at the same time, just holding the tape down on the motors like this to get through some of these problematic tapes of rewinding, because the later models they made on 3/4 Umatic machines, they are a bear to rewind these crappy tapes. 3/4 Umatic was a really big problematic tape due to the tape stock. And I always tell people about direct drive motors. Since I was able to strip this machine out because it was complete junk from being destroyed, I'm going to take this mounting mechanism. All right, I'm going to mount this, probably try to make a box with a power supply and a switch. And then I'm going to give it a power supply, mount it with a switch, screw it down, make a little box like a rewind and fast forward station. So all I have to do is, hold them in place like so, and hit rewind and fast forward, and be able to actually rewind and fast forward these problematic tapes. It's a little idea I came up with, since this is a perfect mounting plate with two perfect 3/4 Umatic motors on it. These are direct drive, powerful, I believe 24-volt motors. And it would make rewinding these easy instead of putting them through the cheaper 3/4 Umatic machines that have a ton of problems rewinding these tapes. It's always sluggish and they stop halfway through. And you guys know what I'm talking about. With this direct drive jig that I'm going to make, it'll make it possible that I don't have to deal with these tapes. I can fast forward and rewind them with this hand jig, and then be able to play them straight through and not destroy my 3/4 Umatic and clog the heads and everything else. So it's going to be like a rewind fast forward jig I'm going to make out of this BVU 850 housing, which was out of a BVU 850, which was a serious motor, rewind motor, and everything else. You know, these motors were just direct drive, very powerful. So make a fast forward rewinding type of jig and be able to get around some of these shitty ass tapes of these 3/4 Umatics. Hope you guys enjoy this video.